Hello everyone, welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, October 2022, our episode of Dark, as we are less than a month away from our Full Gear pay-per-view. We start off with the Soldiers of Savagery defeating two local people, Lucas Calhoun and Kai Katana. They're not officially on the roster, the Soldiers of Savagery. I just kind of borrowed them from ROH. Get some new faces on board, see how they're doing. It's not bad. Some six-man action as the Cult of Cole defeats Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Homicide. Homicide leading the way, Terrence the furthest behind. Salem Morgana then defeats Lavender Sky with the Salem Witch Trial. I don't know what move she used as her finish. It's just going to be renamed the Salem Witch Trial. So, yeah. After the match, Salem takes a little bit of time to speak to the downed Lavender. It's real creepy, you know, the whisper in the ear. And when Scarlett also enters the ring, Roxy and Bianca Corelli rush out. The Devil's Dolls run out of the ring, but there's a smile on their faces as they make their way backstage. Bianca and Roxy looking over Lavender. So yeah, the Devil's Dolls seem to have targeted Lavender Sky for whatever they are doing. Still, they're going to be a bit of a long burn storyline, but I do think that the Devil's Dolls will end up being something pretty good. This, again, will take a little bit of time. Konosuke Takeshita, defeats Lucas Fenrir with the Will of Takeshita. They don't click, still a 51, Takeshita 55. He is at about, I want to say 20. I think it's 20 that he has for pop. Might be 30. But still, a big win there. Kairi Hojo then defeats Maria de Pasqua. Just a real quick match there. The Guns are preparing for their upcoming match. Salem and Scarlett walk past them. The eyes of the two get drawn to them. Bill's like, hey, guys, focus. And the Gun Club eventually kind of shake out of it. They go to their match. Not doing that. They fight the Von Erichs and they lose because Salem Morgana kind of just appears. Probably Salem and Scarlett both appear on the ramp, like right at the entrance. Guns get a little bit distracted, end up getting a big move followed by Iron Claw. So yeah, not great. I still need to turn the Von Erich boys, but yeah, that's fine. Dragon Hearts defeat Buggy Nova and Jinx. Melee Blanco then defeats Taya Valkyrie. 41 raid match. They have great chemistry, not bad at all. After the match, Maki Ito and Abaddon come out to the ring. Maki cuts a pop song diss track on Blanca, who's more amused than anything by it. After the song, Amelia sarcastically claps and says that she is still going to be aiming for Maki. Of course, I did screw up last Dark. Taya was going after Yasmin Aguila. Ended up saying that it was Amelia Blanco. Works out in the end. And main event, always gotta have a banger to end off Dark. Ricochet defeats Joey Janela. Our show of Dynamite begins with Brody Lee defeating Shinsuke Nakamura with a Brody Bomb. Pretty quick match. Oh, well. So here's the thing with that. Shinsuke is leaving for New Japan. I only had him in as a handshake. And New Japan offered like $120,000 a month, and hell no. I could bring him on Alliance, but it doesn't really matter. Nuge has a good guy there. Ridley soaks in the Rochester hometown crowd before he gets a mic. This is in the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester. Because Rochester, 2.5 years ago, your beloved son made his way into All Elite Wrestling, and what have I done since then? People will say that I made a deserving run as TNT champion, but there's something that we all need to remember. There's a little asterisk next to that title. That, even though I may have won it, Cody Rhodes, who, lest we forget, helps run this company as an executive vice president, He got his win back just a few months later, and when I only had the chance to wrestle one match with that belt. And since then, I've had nothing. People like Heyman, like the EVPs, they all want me in the mud. They want to drag me down. They don't think I have it. They pair me with the Dark Order. They make me just a prop for Cody Rhodes to remain relevant. And you know what? It pisses me the hell off. And that, my friends here in Rochester, is why I've done what I've done. Why I've enlisted the help of Chris Statlander, of the Butcher, and of the Blade, and of the Lucha Brothers, and of the Bunny. Because all of us are people who were promised the keys to the kingdom here in AEW. We were promised to be the people who this company was built around, the people who AEW would be based upon at this point in time, but instead, we've been thrown to the wolves, given nothing. And, speaking of the Kingdom then plays, and US Champion Cody Rhodes comes out from the Cody Vader. He has his own mic, because he's Cody. He says, Brody, if you wanted a title match, you should have just said so. I mean, my US title that I have now, it's open to all challengers, but let's get something a little bit clear, and I'm gonna do my best to keep my language in place because my wife is on commentary. That's also something I should mention. Brandy Rhodes, I have moved on to commentary instead of Tony Schiavone. I don't want Schiavone to get overworked. I mean, like, there's nothing in TEW that would say that would happen, but I'm pretty much... He was working both Dynamite and Rampage and pay-per-views, which no one else was doing that many. So I have taken Schiavone off of the Dynamite commentary team. Brandy Rhodes is now there. Lead commentator would be still Excalibur. It's what now the team is Excalibur. Who's my third commentator? Pat, I think. Yeah, it's Pat McAfee. Anyways, back to the promo. I'm not someone that abuses my power as an EVP like you claim I do. What I've done for this company, I do because I love the business. I love pro wrestling as a whole. Because I love every damn fan out there. Because it's my job to make sure that they get the best product that they can. Brody cuts him off. He says, and that is why you decide to hold other people down by instead of accepting your claims to never challenge for the world title and using that as a way to actually build up younger stars. Instead, you create your own titles so that you can win them, so that you can remain at the top of the card, remain as a champion. You see, Cody, that lack of awareness is why Kenny is gone, why Coda is gone, why the EVPs... He cuts himself off. He's yelling that entire last thing. Takes a few moments. A little bit of a breath. Puts the mic up to his mouth. Instead, just charges in. Huge lariat. Cody's down. Brody's looking at him. He's looking at the title a little bit, but you can definitely tell that this is it's secondary. The title does not matter as much to Brody. While getting a championship would be nice, it's not really what he's looking for 100%. After this, Kevin Steen and Rey Mysterio are being interviewed backstage about their decision to help out Antonio Latenz last week when he was attacked. And this says, this goes back to our time in Ring of Honor back then. Steen, Ramy's friend Generico, and Claudio, as he was known back then, and the Briscoes. We were the stars of the show in Ring of Honor alongside AJ Styles. And to see the Briscoes just attack Tony like that, it bubbled something up inside of us. It made us feel something that we hadn't quite done in a while. Since AEW, we'll be the first to admit that we've not exactly been the most intense out there. But now, after seeing that little bitch Hook end up injuring Tony's arm even more, putting him on the shelf for the foreseeable future, well, it woke something else, and we're not just going to sit back and take that lightly. You had to know that you were trying to get under our skin, Briscoes. I'm sure that Hook is doing whatever you say. After all, you are both legends of the business, living legends who are finally getting their time to shine on the main stage. But we can do the same. We're not just complacent. We're not just going to sit back here. Rampage, 6-man tag. The Briscoes, Mark, Jay, and Hook against Kevin Steen, Ramy Sabay, and our partner, And while we could tell you who our partner is, I think it's best if we just let the secret subside. So yeah, 6-man tag on Rampage. That's something I want to do a little bit more. 6-man tag. Another thing is more types of matches. That's something I feel like I've done pretty well with the show. We'll see that in a little bit, though. The Hybrid 2 pick up possibly a little bit of a shock victory. Well, if they weren't the number one contenders for the tag titles, it would be a shock, but they are, so not really. They just pick up a win over the Hardy Brothers, so yeah. After this, the Vision Music's play. Instead of TH2s, the reigning tag champs come out, and Jake Roberts speaks and says, "Always impressive. You really both are, and really, I mean, when they say that AEW has the best tag team division in the world, the Hybrid 2 is at the top of that list. Whether you think about you actively or not, it's no denying that the Hybrid 2 are one of the best in the business. But there's a distinction that we still need to make. You guys are just one of the best, while the Vision are the best. Matt Sydal has been sitting out for quite a while, recovering from an injury, but now Matt Sydal's on his road to recovery. We thought he'd be cleared to wrestle soon, but I think we want to play this a little bit safer. And you know what? While it's safer to hold off for now, Full Gear is less than a month away. So I think we make our match at Full Gear Hybrid 2. I think we make that something truly amazing. I think we make things a little bit more interesting. Both of us are exceptional. Both teams are fantastic at the intricacies of tag team wrestling. But there's something else that we all have in mind. All of us are willing to put our bodies on the line for anything in pro wrestling, and these belts will be no different. Matt right now has a ferocity that we've never seen, an anger that we've never seen, and I think we indulge that anger. At Full Gear, the tag team titles match will have no rules. Yeah, no DQ match. I don't want to just have basic single man matches, because I do that a lot. So that is something I want to push forward. And this, Lexi Paradise, seen at a reality TV style interview, talking about how her transition to AEW has been something that she is super happy about. How the fans have been accepting her, and it almost seems like it's a very babyface promo, but obviously Lexi's a heel. It's very obvious, like character work wise, it's her playing up the crowd. You know, she's shown herself to be very two-faced with this gimmick. She's shown herself to be, she's lying through her teeth with this. She's being very political, I suppose, with it. Seeming very happy, but it eventually goes off the rails. She springs up, like, maybe like a little bit before. I imagine that she's good enough at acting this, you know, kind of looks over to the side. Eventually, she sees something, springs out of her chair. She's starting to brawl with Shotzi, who has just entered her trailer, or wherever this interview is. The two of them are brawling, and Lexi, for the first time in this feud, actually manages to get the one-up on Shotzi, mainly because she was not surprised by Shotzi. And eventually, she's knocked down, and she orders Satnam Singh, her bodyguard, to carry Shotzi away. Lexi takes a little bit to calm down, and then kind of imagining almost a little bit of a humorous moment. She's, you know, heavy breathing. She just went completely wild on this person. Sits down, cross legs, few deep breaths, and then just, "So, what's our next question?" And the interviewer is very shocked by this. It's not going to be an AEW, like, contracted talent. I imagine this is, well, like, it's not Marvez, it's not Renee. But just like, no further questions. And yeah. So pushing that along, Riho Kakashi defeats Layla Hirsch. Pretty mad match. As in the VIPs, midway through the match, I think I forgot to put this in the match before, but that's fine. They enter the match midway through, and they join commentary, and they spend the time shit-talking Riho. I imagine that they're probably, like, using Pat's mic. Like, Like, one of them's probably talking through Pat's mic, the other one's probably stolen Brandy's mic. Probably in that order. Deanna uses Pat's, Tanel just takes Brandy's. And they're just talking shit about Riho. And after the match, they make their ways down, and they have their own mics. They're talking, they're continuing to talk shit about Riho. And as they do, probably like halfway down the ramp, Bianca Crowley, Roxy come out, and the VIPs are just like, really? Again? We've already seen this like 5 times. That's all you do. You just keep running out to make saves for people. You keep trying to defend people's honors when it's not your business. And then eventually they're like, you know what, fine. We can settle this. We have a way to do this. You two figure out a way, choose who you're going to have in a match, figure out who you want to tag with Riho for our match at Full Gear. I am setting up matches at Full Gear a little bit early, I feel like, but at the same time I'm also setting them up really late, because I forgot that Full Gear is actually fast approaching. And yes, I am very behind. I'm recording this in February 2023. Actually, this is a little bit of a disappointing segment. Miro's dancing in his chapel, mid-prayer, when the door is heard opening. Ricky Starks walks in, and this is shot very cinematically, almost movie-like. And it's a very heartfelt conversation. They just have an honest talk. It's, they're not, like, going back and forth, and Ricky's like, alright, when you say you're going to redeem, what does this mean? Like, they're just talking like peers. CJ Perry, she's suspicious the whole time, but segment ends, Ricky's like, alright, you know what? Hey, good luck at Full Gear. I'm gonna put on the best match I can. Miro offers a hug, and Ricky's like, you know what? Fine, this has been a friendly enough hug. And then Miro whispers into Ricky's ear, you may not forgive what I do at Full Gear, but God already has. Pats him on the back, goes back to praying. So, Miro, he is a babyface, but I still don't want to just dumb him down. He's, like, it's... The Redeemer gimmick, fantastic. Some of those promos were great, and then they kind of just stopped using Miro in real life. And then they gave the Redeemer gimmick to Will Hobbs. But Miro, in this variant of it, he is generally he's looking out for people. And he wants, he knows that beating them in a match isn't going to completely change them. But I imagine he might do some proselytizing in match. I'm not sure about that yet. But still, Miro, he's still a scary man. He's very big. So, yeah. Want to do that a little bit. After this, the Rose Garden defeat the Bankroll. Assorted people of the Bankroll. Because Ricochet wrestled on Dark, and Max Caster is out on rehab. So, Garza, it is Lewis Howley defeats Anthony Bones with an Enziguri. Those ratings are about what I expect. That's fine. After the match, Kip Sabian rolls into the ring, and he says that per Garza's request, they want Jericho out here. And Jericho, he does come out. And now that Garza's had some time to recover, to catch his breath, he takes the mic. He says that Full Gear, the two of them should finally determine how things will end. This feud has been going on for a while. At one point, Garza had Ace Austin, and no, it was just Sammy, was recruited into the Rose Garden as an employee, as a servant, basically. So, yeah. Jericho eventually cuts him off while Garza's explaining this, and he says, you know what, there's an easy way to do this. There's 5 men in the Rose Garden. You have you 4 there, plus Johnny Hussey, who I imagine is probably not too far behind. There's 5 men in the JES. So, why not have it be a 5v5? And Garza's like, alright, that sounds reasonable. But we're not quite done yet. Because, basically, then he just explains a blood and guts match. That's what it's gonna be. Weirdly enough, in this universe, there has been no blood and guts match. Because the initial one was going to be in March 2020. That got canceled until early 2021. 2021 was after the save started. There has never been a blood and guts match in this save. Full Gear, we'll see our first one, the Rose Garden versus the JAS. And in our main event, Mayu Iwatani defeats Jade Cargill with two-step dragon suplex. I'll explain the match a little bit more during this segment. So, Jade Cargill is doing really well in this match. Like, she has nearly won on a few occasions. Mayu gets some very close kickouts. And commentary is like, oh shit, this might actually become a triple threat. Jade, I think she probably has some top rope moves or something like that. But or maybe like she might be like prepping for some. I think she has a running knee in her arsenal. Prepping for that, Thunder Rosa comes up from the crowd, trips Jade up. Jade is like, thrown up. She's thrown off her game. Mayu ends up getting a roll up, or hits the suplex, I guess. Show ends. Thunder Rosa's yelling, "Mayu is mine." This has been one of my worst booked feuds out there. This feud has not been booked very well at all. I heavily considered throwing Jade into there, but I feel like that would be a little bit rude to Thunder Rosa in this. Show gets a 77. I believe that's pretty much exactly what our pop is, or it's around there. But I'm still very happy with the show. So, yeah, that will do it for Dynamite. We move on to Rampage in the next episode.